Today on Gamer's Couch.
Infiltration, or Android infiltration, or infiltration from the Android universe, or
Infiltration.
Android universe infiltration. I'm not entirely sure. I think we call it Android infiltration. The box says infiltration in big letters, but we might confuse it with another infiltration. So what?
What?
We don't own any other game called Infiltration, so it's actually not necessary. But it's like, oh yeah, that Android game. Okay.
It sets the universe.
Now you know.
Let's set the scene. My name is Sarah. I'm the artist behind this Geschichte. This is Daniel, my sweet husband. We are talking board games every Sunday. Today we are talking Android Infiltration.
And unfortunately, we're doing this for the second time because
someone.
What do you know?
Someone.
Turns out that if just us shouting at a camera doesn't make it automatically record us, and I greatly have rehearsed this now, so we can.
So maybe we're even faster, and
we probably will be.
Don't
faster.
bother the people for too long. We go about it like every week. Rules and gameplay first, then we talk likes and dislikes, have a tiny little thumb rating, and then we talk about funny stories and experiences. There is no teaser for Draw for Initiative this week because that's gonna happen next week again. My love, I'm speeding through.
I see.
It's a heist.
That virtual simulation of the Gamer's Couch we just did certainly helped. So,
rules and gameplay.
The thing you really want to do if it is the future
push the record button.
and are the cyberpunk and are specifically the thug in the cyberpunk future is to break and enter in corporations' facilities, which kind of seems to be the law of the future. It's like there's the corporations and then there's the guys who break and enter. In this case, we are playing a group of slightly shady individuals who are trying to get into a corporate building and steal as much data file tokens as possible. While that may sound not as enticing as get rich or die trying, that pretty much sums up the game. So, in the future, the buildings have a weird architectural style to them, whereas this is the ground floor, and from here on out, every next floor is going up here and then going up here. So it's more like an arc. I'm not sure. It's probably because the designer had a conscious choice saying that tables end at some point. We need to wrap this and make this playable in some
Honey,
way.
that's what buildings in the future look like. Didn't you know?
Actually, that's what some buildings today look like.
Yeah, we live in the future. Are you excited?
I'm getting my my crowbar ready for some data file extraction. Just smashing the Wi-Fi router and then seeing if there's some tokens falling out. Anyway.
Or you knip the keyboard until the SD card comes out or something.
That's not entirely how this works. Also, as with all good cyberpunk stories, we enter this building as a group just to throw that concept out of the window once we enter the very first room, because then it's everybody for themselves, and this is, surprise, no cooperative game. It is everybody playing for who can grab the most data file points and leave the building, because this device of doom tracking that is supplied with the game is our security tracker. This will go up each turn, and if it ever reaches 99 or goes over 99, not only do you have to sing the song by Nena, but everybody who's still in the building has not left, did not do the Elvis, will be apprehended by security forces and then turned into some syndicate agent mindlessly running around gunning down civilians or something like that. We don't know, but you lose the game. That we know. So the game is played in turns, whereas first you take a good look at the cards on your hand. There's actually 4 cards that every player has, which are the basic action cards that look like this. You will always have these 4 cards. Every other card you have is an item card or some special card that might give you a better version, typically, of these. You have the most basic cards to move around, which are called Retreat and Advance. And as you might have guessed, Advance moves you up 1 room or 1 story, and Retreat just moves you back 1. If you play Retreat on the very first step, you leave the building, and that is how you escape. And all the data files you have collected there are the ones that you get to keep. If you are a really, really tactical and strategic mind, you might play the retreat card on the first turn and even still win if nobody else makes it out of the building with any data files. But we haven't had that happen yet. The other 2 cards from our basic set are there to interact with the room you are in. So there's an interface card that lets me use the interface action. Typically a room says interface and then do something, and there's this blue purplish token, which is the interface token. If you play this card, you remove the token and then take the action that's on this card, meaning this gets resolved in player order. So when I'm starting this turn, it should play this card first. I have used up that action, so if anybody else is using that action, too bad for you. But we are not quite there yet. The other card we have here is actually from the advanced rules, but I will not bother with the basic rules and just give it to you straight. These data files I was talking about, you will find on these rooms, and each room has a number of data files that get placed on here. Each data file has a value between 1 and 3 points. To get them, you need to be in a room with files and play the extract card as one way to grab them. The extract card works a little bit differently, as it is not resolved immediately, but you put it down and then you wait for everybody on the table to have revealed their cards, and at the end of the turn, depending on how many players played this card in the same room as you split up the files that are in the room. If you're the only one, you get up to 4 tokens if available. But let's say if Sarah and I played in the same room, both of us would get 2 tokens, and that is actually unfortunate, would be unfortunate for her if I'm the first player, because that means I get 2 data file tokens, and then there would be no tokens left in this room, so she would
make a long Gesicht.
Don't get anything, which is unfortunate.
But you could just not play the extract card and leave those tokens for me.
True. The basic game has a download card which does the same but has a fixed amount that of data file tokens that are downloaded. We always thought, and that might be a spoiler for likes and dislikes, that this is the more interesting variant, so I'm going straight away with that extract card. So,
why is the duck at the table?
So usually we would play this as the 2-player game, and this comes with a 2-player variant, but it is boring to explain to you, because the 2-player variant is everybody's playing just 2 agents and you just control them as individuals, and at the end of the game you tally up all your data file tokens that you successfully escape with, and then you win, which, as I said, is a little bit boring. So this is one of the games which you want to have 3 players really, and more. It's 3 to 6 players, which I know now because I already told you, but that was when the camera was not running. So 3 to 5 players is a really good amount of guys. So let's just get started by going through the phases. First, we are going to select which card everybody wants to play. And
Anton's gonna play that card.
I'm going to play that card. Did you take the top one?
Top one.
Good. Not that this is scripted in any way, but I made sure that he's not running away right in the first turn, because
Management manager. Kind of scared.
Yeah, it might happen. So we all picked our cards, which brings us to the next phase. We reveal. And in this case, Anton is playing an interface card, and you're playing an item card, and I'm also playing an item card. Since I'm the starting player, it starts with me. I'm playing Informant. I collect 2 data file tokens from the server pool, so not from any of these rooms here, but actually from here. Then either play 1 action or 1 item card.
I feel a combo's coming up.
I'm playing Secretaries. That allows me to increase or decrease the alarm dial by 2. Now, we'll get to this in a second, but I'll always also increase the general alert level in this building by 2, which will make for a shorter game by speeding up how fast we get to the 99. I still get to play 1 item card or 1 action card. Action card, and I will be a dick to the duck and play the interface card. Meaning, I'm resolving the interface action that is here.
Kind of sounds like I'm the yin to your yang, I'm the dick to your duck.
True. Interface says move forward 1 room and play 1 action card, and then that's where we reveal this room, and this gets 3 data file tokens on them, and a tag log, which I haven't explained yet so far. So these yellow and red markers are lab workers or tag logs, respectively, which can add new files to the stack on the room. But you typically need a card to be able to get rid of that tag log or do something. Some also have special abilities. So, for example, this says tag log. When this tag log is destroyed, all operatives in this room immediately move backwards 2 rooms if able, and this can interrupt someone else's turn. So if we would unlock this tag log, something else would happen. The interface here actually says flip your operative to its healthy side, meaning we start healthy, but certain effects in the game can wound you, which makes moving around a lot more difficult because you kind of have to take 2 turns to play an advance or a retreat card. My interface here says move forward 1 room and play 1 action card. So action cards are these basic cards that we have here. And I think I am going...
You're not going to do the dick move of last show that we did not record, but I still remember it.
I'm going to advance.
Thank you.
And go 1 further. So I'm in the biomedical lab, but I'm advancing right away to the hazmat depot, which takes 2 data files. And yes, you're supposed to not see the value of the tokens, even if they are in your, if you collected them, to keep it interesting until the end of the game. And also, some effects might have or trigger that someone is able to steal those tokens from you, so you don't really want them to know how many you have. So what have we here? We have another tag log that adds a sludge card to this room, which is a special card. Sludge says each time someone enters this room, he's delayed. So you have to step carefully because someone spilled the biomedical hazard around. Or you have an interface, remove this room's interface token to draw 2 cards from the item deck, which also sounds interesting. So I've played my cards. I keep the action cards. I discard my item cards, and now it is Sarah's turn. Sarah played.
I'm playing Express O2. Move either forward or backward 1 room.
So you're retreating, right?
Forward. And then I play my Extract card.
Which gives her all 3 data tokens.
Ta-da!
Now, yes, we would wait, but I've seen that the duck has played interface, so it's not that big of a deal. So Sarah would get all the data files in here because she's the only player in that room to play the extract card.
Yes.
The duck unfortunately played the interface card, which has already been used up, and that's
because of
bad luck if you are
a duck,
the last player to do something. And now the third phase after we take all our actions would be for NPCs to move and interact. So there's a couple of NPCs here that are tied to the specific room, so they don't necessarily ever come into a play, but if they do, they have some little rule on here that has to be done, and usually it refers to the NPC phase, which happens just right now after the action. So for example, there's a robot here, CXX13. If you can find his room and activate him, what he will do, he destroys all tech logs, lab workers and NPCs except for himself in his room, and then moves back one room. So essentially you are hacking this robot to move back and destroy all those tech logs and run rampant and kill everybody. Whereas some other characters might start here and move upwards, and if they encounter you, they arrest you or delay you or something like that. So that's just an additional thing that's going on. After the NPC phase, we go to the security phase, which means I get to roll a die because I was the starting player, and I roll a 2, which increases our security, our alert level, well, not alert level, that's here, but our security rating by 2. Plus what the current alert level is, so we end up at 4. As I said, if this goes to 99 and we didn't haul ass out of this building, everybody still in the building loses the game no matter how much data files you've collected. So you want to get out early enough, but not too early because you want to do some
cool shit.
Cool shit, correct.
You rehearsed. Why are you thinking so long? Because you play differently. Now yes. I'm start player because the die of doom comes to me.
Let's do another. So Duck is extracting. You are playing something.
Yeah. Perform Q. That's the card name. And perform any or all of the following in any order. Move forward 1 room. Play your interface card. Move backward 1 room. Of course, I want to move forward. Mm-hmm. I want to play my interface card. So I'm gonna play interface.
So you draw 2 decks from the item deck. 2 cards from the item deck.
Yep.
So item cards are really limited. So picking up new cards makes for some powerful options, and the item cards are usually not just, well, they are sometimes a better version of the action card that you could have played, but they also sometimes allow you to play another card, which leads to those combos that we have.
I'm not gonna play the last action. I don't want to move backwards.
The duck is, by the way, the duck looks suspiciously like Patrick Rothfuss, so I will say Cyber Rothfuss is extracting data. He's the only one in the room, so I don't
from Star Trek. From the Enterprise.
No.
He's extracting data.
No.
No.
While I was playing the data code breaker, which destroys 1 tech log in my current room, so I'm getting rid of this. We have the sludge that is now entering this room. We add 6 more data files to this. So we are now up to 8 data files, which illustrates another thing that is not that great because these tokens are a little bit fiddly if you
have big fingers.
If there's more than 1. And then I get to play the interface card, but Sarah already used the interface action, so that's that. Now Sarah gets to...
But the Asso.
Asso is the German for, oh, I did not pay attention. And since we still don't have any NPCs, we go straight to the security part, and you rolled a 2. So we are now up to 8, which is way slower than last time we played this. Now
it's the duck's turn.
The duck is starting player, and let's see what else we have here.
He's kind of stressed. He wants to look nice on camera. He had makeup and everything this morning. Thinks he's a TV professional.
Sure. So, we reveal.
I reveal. Of course. But there's enough for the 2 of us.
The duck starts, and the duck is a little bit of a coward, but wants to play really safe, and Cyber Rothfuss leaves the building. Which means that Anton here ends up with 2 data file tokens. Maybe it's enough. It's certainly enough if we get caught by the police. Meanwhile, we try to extract. So what we do is we both extract. Mm-hmm. So both of us get 2 data file tokens. I get the first 2. Next 2.
Uh-huh.
And then the duck rolls for the security phase.
A 6, of course.
The duck
He has Wheaton's disease.
So 6 plus 2 makes 8, so we are already up to 16. And you see how the increased alert base stuff might add up to some more.
One more turn, because I
Speed up.
want to have a chance, and then we can finish the play. I want to play one more.
You already have a lot of tokens.
Oh,
there.
you have more!
Ah, we're fine. So that is essentially everything.
I have such a big deja vu.
This is essentially the way this is played. What I didn't tell you yet is the rooms on this lower level are all blue rooms or lower security rooms, whereas the rooms up here are the high security rooms, which yield typically more data files. That being said, I think we never went up to the top floor, and since these cards are random, it could very well be that you're not getting out of no.
I want to see.
That you're not getting out early enough if you're going for the top level. There's also a secret room here, which is 1 out of 3, which you might not be able to enter. You actually need a card that allows you to enter the secret room. So, for example, this research admin office has an interface that says enter the secret room, and then from here, advance and retreat have special actions to move you back to another room. And typically they have a lot of data files or some really cool effect, like giving you a lot of item cards or something like that. So it's certainly worth going in there. That is, you would certainly have one. I only have a couple here.
Let me see.
I only have 5, 7.
Last time that we did not record, I had 6, he had 3, and you had 13? 10. And now he has 4 increased, I have 9 increased, and you have 7 decreased. That's because
I played a card differently. You're
Yeah.
welcome. So,
charming.
yes. That's pretty much it. I mean, you've seen us interact with the room cards. As I said, rooms have different stuff. Some of the rooms have things written on here like reveal. So if that card is just flipped over, the alarm dial is increased by 1. Then there's other cards like this one that says enter, where 1 data file token is added whenever someone enters the room, no matter if by advance or retreat. And that's pretty much that.
You just need to say age and...
Let's see if I remember. I think I actually said that. So this is, I think, for little Cyber Roth Facies, age 14 now.
Correct.
And it's...
officially on the box, what does it say? How many players?
It says officially 2 to 6, but let's say 3 to 5 is a better fit, or 3 to 6. 6 will be a longer game. This game is set for 30 to 45 minutes, which for a 3-player game certainly is a good target.
Yeah.
Making it a pretty good filler game if you're waiting for your group to assemble to bring this out and try to push your luck.
And that leads us into likes and dislikes. Push your luck.
And again, you get to start the likes and dislikes.
Oh, you can start if you want. We
I'm terribly interested what your likes and dislikes are going to be.
I dislike you being a smartass. I dislike
I dislike you not pushing the button on the camera.
You didn't push it either.
You were the one dealing with that camera. So this is the typical marriage fight.
No, I just want to spend more time with him. This is how I have to make him spend more time with me.
That is
We don't have any other things to do today. No, this is not unfortunate.
Okay, so I'm going to start.
Yes.
First of all, there's only one thing I don't really like, and that's super funny because I know that she started her life, whatever.
Infiltration.
And that's actually these little data file tokens, because they're a little bit fiddly. Other than that, I really like the Android theme. I mean, this is a Shadowrun shirt. I like cyberpunk and all the stuff that typically has to do with cyberpunk. The Android universe is pretty dope. I mean, we kind of, in Netrunner was the game that introduced that universe to us, and this is a really neat little supplementary game that takes care of that. I'm not sure if I would like this game as much as I do if it had a different theme. I actually specifically like this moving room to room and messing around, and then having these items that actually refer to stuff that you might know from your cyberpunk stuff, like hacking things or having little drones that do something for you in the other room, and having what?
Nothing. He's very interested.
And in interacting with it. It's also a very chaotic game, and the game gets, my opinion, really good in the last 3 to 2 turns, when the alarm dial is going up to 99, being very close, and you're really hard pressed thinking, A, can I get out of here at all? If so, how? And is there someone else trying to mess with me on the way? Or can I stay another turn and maybe grab another data file? Because it might be really close at the end, since you never know how much points you actually have. And a lot of screw you moments where someone else is messing with you. Although I have to say, in this game, it is not as bad, because it is not necessarily because someone is typically deliberately messing with you. It is everybody is just following his or her own agenda, and then typically triggering things that are annoying to you, like increase the alarm dial, or someone is extracting data, not because they want to kind of keep you from extracting data, but because they want to extract the data. But you have to pay a little bit attention of where everybody is and what they're trying to do. And turn order is really important in this game, so the starting player actually does have a slight advantage, I think, over other players.
And the good thing is that that duty rotates.
Yeah, but I mean, on the very first turn, you might have a slight advantage if you're higher in the chain.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, this game brings up the kind of interesting challenge for you, or choice for you at the beginning. Do you want to stay here and pick up the low-numbered data stores? I mean, as you can see, there's only 2 tokens, 3 tokens, 2 tokens. 5 tokens is quite a lot, but the jackpot is to be found in the upper levels. So a perfectly valid tactic is to sprint forward and get high as quick as possible, which might also help with playing the game. But then you have to go back at some point. Also, you don't know what rooms are in between here, so you might reveal something that is kind of really annoying or hindering your how far you can get away. Also, you don't know what the other players are doing. Someone else might have the same idea and also sprint forward for you, or they might all fight for the scrubs down here and use up their interface tokens and whatnot to give them just the little edge they need to acquire more data files. Yeah, it's chaotic enough that this is not a game where I'm going out to play this for the win per se. It's more of I really like the experience, bumping with other players and trying to do my thing without being too distracted by what they do. But in the end, it also comes a little bit up to the luck of the draw, what data file tokens you got, and
yeah, or if you know the game, the luck of the draw in the beginning, drafting the item cards. That's
yeah, but
also
that's just a minor thing.
No, I mean, like, some could be just perfect in combo. So the combo that you played, it's really rare. We don't see that often.
Well, it's
so you had
his
very
2 cards. So
yeah, but the other 2, a third card played well with it. So
yeah, there's some variants mentioned in the manual. So these characters are essentially just characters with some fluff text on them. They don't have any special abilities, but there are some item cards associated with them. If you want to, you get those 2 cards associated with that character to give them a more of a unique feel, and then draw 2 random cards. Or the thing I'm almost preferring is to draft all the item cards between all the players, but that kind of requires you to know what you're doing or having played this game, which isn't too terrible. So this give 2 starting cards to that character might be a good first play to teach the game, and then afterwards, since it's really just half an hour, 40 minutes per game, you should be fine
Exactly.
Drafting that, unless you want to just play it really quick, hand over everybody 4 cards, and that's it.
Yeah, that's actually something that I really liked. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's one of the rather aggressive games, but it's not that you can team up on someone per se. So it's more of a well, not so deliberate aggression going on at the table, which sometimes I really, really like. I like to have those games, not very often.
There's also,
but sometimes,
also not many screw you cards really.
Exactly, it's not a take that game.
There are cards in there, and if you really dislike that, I think you could safely take them out. But they're so few in between, and I mean, the most annoying stuff comes from playing these someone extracting or downloading data files before you can do, so a timing thing, or someone triggering a room event that is unfortunate for what you want to do. That's.
And I also like that you can play this both ways, super safe. You don't have to sprint forward and do whatever. You can leave that to the others and step by step, bit by bit, collect your data files and be maybe closer to the exit and a tiny bit safer. Or you can sprint forward and be super risque with the kind of way you play the game, and that's fine too. You might have to find a secret room, or you might have to find some loophole that lets you like, I don't know, a parachute or something that lets you leave the building from the upper levels. But
so there's, for example, there's these special cards that you can obtain. The sludge is just one of them. There's prototype cards, and these usually find them through a special room. Also, the prototype, for example, says it's added to your play area. You have to discard all the item cards because now you're carrying this prototype with you. You also cannot gain any more item cards or prototypes, but you can return this card to the game box at any time. And if you manage to get away with this, you get a value of 10 added to your data files at the end of the game, but only if you still have the card then. So that's also one of those. If you spend all your item cards, probably not that big of a problem, because chances are you might not get another item card that easily, and you made all the best use of them. But if you still have all your item cards, you don't really want to carry around that prototype. Or you have something like this blackmail file. If you escape the facility with blackmail file in your play area, immediately collect 2 data file tokens from the server pool, which is like, hey, you picked up some additional data on someone that gives you the stuff. But the more interesting thing is, during the selection phase, you may randomly return 4 of your tokens and a blackmail file to the game box to escape the facility. So if you have this, you could actually make the sprint up to the top and really start downloading like a madman or a mad woman. And
never happened.
And then use the blackmail file to have the manager give you the escape helicopter, and not him, the manager of this.
Oh, okay. He was kind of scared.
No, he doesn't have to give me his helicopter.
Sorry. So yeah, shall we rate?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So I really like it.
Just the tiny. It's a little bit fiddly. I'm not super happy with the small cards.
But you have big hands, so it's very.
It's token salad, and that's.
But it's very healthy. Token salad is super healthy. It has vitamin C.
Yeah, there's Also, I don't have a really good idea to make this any way better. But that's the only thing that, to me, from time to time, feels to me that it slows down the game a little bit with the fiddliness. But
I mean, if we have Tina at the table, we're totally cool. She likes to stack things, and
but she also likes to stack things that are supposedly being used. So that's not helpful in this case.
But you can stack the data files. No.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that. I think it's. I would recommend this. So if you just saw something like Ghost in the Shell in the cinema and are looking for something with a cyberpunk feel and breaking and entering, this might be a game for you. It's a short game, which isn't necessarily a plus, but here I think it is good because it has a wide range of players. So with 3 to 6, you can do this as a game night game and play it with 6, but that probably will not be happening in half an hour or even 45 minutes. But it's probably not going to take much longer than an hour if everybody knows what they're doing, since everybody's still selecting the cards at the same time, and you're just resolving the actions, which might take
it might take a bit longer to yell at people thoroughly.
Correct.
If they screw you over.
Also, the more players you have, the more interesting this gets with how many data files are available, because then you will not get a lot of data files, which makes stuff like the blackmail file quite expensive by saying you have to you have to get rid of those, so that kind of forces you to go upstairs. It is a good kind of game for we're waiting for more people of our group to arrive and need something to play for half an hour or something like that. So if you have 3 there and waiting for your 4th of the other 2 of your group, this is pretty great, or as a game to play while someone else is playing something else.
So let's hop into funny stories and experiences. And
the funny story where we set up everything and talked about funny stories and experiences, and then suddenly someone did not push the button on the camera. In Tom?
I want to smack him so badly.
No, don't smack
I mean you. I don't like violence, so I'm not gonna do it. But sometimes I have to play this game just to have a valve against aggression that stack up in daily life. Anyway, funny stories, experiences. We've played this game quite a lot the year that we got it. It didn't get a lot of love last year, like 0 playtime, but that is only because we have more than 2 games in the collection, so they all need some time to be played. And there's always new games and stuff, so it didn't get a lot of love. But the year that we bought it, we played it a lot with our gaming group. And I remember a few plays where, especially you and Christian, you were spending your cards fighting each other, and I was just like collecting data files behind them. So like, So you were somewhere around here and fighting back and forth, and I was cleaning those rooms. And I'd never won at this game so far, but it was, for one, just very funny to hear you bitch at the table, you two.
Yeah.
And I mean, people that we have in our group, they're somewhat prone to slip into character when they play. So they do it's enough to have this tiny little bit of fluff and that picture for them to make up a whole character there. So of course you play this game in character, which is absolutely funny. And sometimes there was this one game where you were we were too close to 99, so you couldn't go back, so you had to move forward.
I think that actually was the game.
Was it that one? I don't remember.
Where I think Christian and I were around here, and I think we both got wounded, meaning that whenever you play an advance card or retreat card, you have to flip over, and then you cannot play an advance card for this turn until you get up, and then you can play it again. So and we were at 80 or something, so it is almost impossible. So Christian tried to stumble his way back here, hoping for a lot of ones to be rolled, so maybe he could make the retreat here in time. Whereas I was pretty much the opposite, saying, okay, I'm going upstairs, maybe I can find something like this blackmail file or some other way to leave the building, which, spoiler, I didn't. But he didn't make it out either. And then someone, I think one who was gathering up all those breadcrumb scraps. Probably not you.
I never wanted this game. Wasn't me. Don't.
Well.
Don't.
So the first time we recorded this, we decided that since this is a short game, we try really hard to make this video not very long, or not as long as the other videos. So we are at the end of this video, meaning
again
you can click one of the thumbs pointing in either direction downstairs. The
description bar. Yeah. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Or you can do the subscribe clicking there. You can tell other people that you survived this video and challenge them to do the same, or tell them that you liked it, but let's not kid ourselves. You can find more of us rambling about board games on this channel.
Yep, there is a playlist.
There's also a geek list on Board Game Geek called Gamers Couch, where all of these are added. There's also the art project that Sarah
Draw for
and
Initiative.
our friend Tina are doing, where they draw scenes from us playing board games, or inspired by us playing board games.
Well, it's experiences that we had at the table.
So essentially, this is kind of a PTSD. Or
it's therapy. I call it therapy
for surviving specific rounds of games.
Mm-hmm.
Which also has its own geek list on Board Game Geek and can also be found on this channel. You can meet us both in this very configuration, minus the duck probably, next week on Sunday, when we will talk about a board game.
Surprise.
Maybe a card game. Probably a card game.
Or a board game.
Might be a board game.
We'll find out. We haven't decided yet what we're going to talk about.
Probably a card game. We'll see.
Short video. Don't repeat yourselves all the time. So.
But I'm not repeating myself. I'm
outroing.
I'm widersprechen you, which is your last-minute German lesson of the day.
What does it mean in English?
Widersprechen?
Hmm?
Arguing?
Counter talk.
No.
I like the counter talk.
No.
No, it's like. Having the other position, it's like disagreeing, that's the word. Ow. And I bumped my elbow.
And now you know why the camera is shaking sometimes, because someone is doing the
knack?
The car or ship salesman.
Oh well, let's get in for the half screen, say bye 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 bye.
Goodbye.
Take care, have fun, happy Sunday, see you next time.